Hello all, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the LD only walkthrough. This is episode 55. So today we're going to do three things. First, I'm going to show you my Tartarus Hell team for killing him off. Now that's with the sub-bosses dead, so Tartarus is easier. But it's a free-to-play team, doesn't require a ton of runes. It is a manual team, but you can pretty much get success every time you use the team, unless there's some really bad RNG. Number two is I'm going to go over my Phenaka White Martial Cat Shu Shu offense and defense for Siege. We have to change some runes up on the gargoyle, and I thought it was a good thing to learn about. So, and then the last thing is we're going to have 7 or 8 LD summons, and we also got the blessing from the Jujutsu Kaisen dungeon this week, which is a really nice thing to get if you haven't got it already. So that's what we're going to cover today. Let's get started. Okay, here we are back on the LD only account on Global, and we're just running some giants right now. Still haven't got quite underneath a minute average runtime, but we're slowly inching closer. Might change up the team here soon if I can't get it with that team. What we wanted to try to do very quickly here was go into Labyrinth, because only one more hit is needed on Tartarus to kill him off. So here we have my team. We have the Light Drunken Master, who's there for damage reduction, healing, and damage to the boss. Tion is to revive the people that get killed off. Fran is there for support. Crow is there to do the big damage, and then Darian is there to set up defense breaks and attack power breaks on the boss and do damage mitigation for the team. So, and I'll show you their runes after the run, but I wanted to get the run in before someone else killed off Tartarus. And once again, all the sub-bosses have been killed, so that makes Tartarus much easier. But it still can be a little bit of a challenge to kill him off. So there's the Light Drunken Master doing his damage. Okay, so here we are at the boss. This is so what you want to do is you want to try to kill off this rage power as quickly as possible, because that's the one that instantly defeats your enemy, who's done the most damage on the boss. So you don't want that one to stay around very long. The sooner you can kill it off, the better. In fact, I think we might be able to get it with Crow's second skill here. Yep, there we go. So now the rage one is gone. So he can't instantly defeat us anymore. So that was just lucky. So that was RNG. Where those symbols show up is completely random. So now we're just going to keep working on the boss. Probably going to... we might do that on the next turn through. All your monsters get 2 turns unless somebody procs. So we're going to just go through, cycle through, just doing a little bit of damage. And now we're going to heal everybody up and also put the anti-crit on to lower the chance that he's going to do big damage later. And we're going to do big damage with the Light Drunken Master. He does pretty good damage. It's not Crow damage, but it's decent. And it's nice that he can do the ignore defense if you miss some defense breaks. He's still doing good damage to the boss. And again, the Light Drunken Master is not runed particularly well, so he could potentially be doing a lot more damage. So we're going to heal everybody up, get the defense break back on. I was hoping I can get, there's the attack power break on the boss, and now we can kill off his second arm. There we go. So now we're on to the third and final stage, and the boss, you know, he does have the rage symbol in the middle of his head now because those symbols rotate. So we want to try to kill him off before that rage symbol becomes active. Right now we have a lot of the Oblivion and silence on, so we can't do many skills. Okay, so now we can heal up. Get the attack power buff up, and let's just heal up some more. We could probably have saved that. And then we got Crow's big skill is ready, so there we go. About a third of his HP. And we could probably use Crow's team up skill. Here comes the big collapse. So this is where we might have wanted to pay attention to what skills were coming up on the boss. And we get a little bit of a heal from this, but it's not much. And then there's a defense break, and we definitely need to keep Theon alive because he's the one that does the reviving. We're going to lose Darian. I don't think Theon's heal is good enough that we could have saved Darian, so we're just going to save it for after so that we can revive Crow. We're going to wait till next turn to do the heal. And also wait for the heal there. So now we can revive Crow. And now we can do the heal. So that keeps Crow from dying right after he's reincarnated. And we put the attack buff up. Do some damage with there. Do a defense break. Okay. And let's see if Crow, yes, Crow has skill 3, so this is probably it. Yep, there we go. So that's why Theon is brought along, is to revive everybody that gets killed off. When you have bad RNG and you can't prevent the rage blow. But there we go. That's Tartarus Hell done. And I can't remember the last time that this team has failed. As long as you're paying attention to what the boss is doing and know what skills are coming up and you save your skills appropriately, it's actually quite easy. It just takes a few minutes on manual, and it is kind of satisfying to get rid of Tartarus quite easily. So let's see what we get here. I was hoping for an LD scroll, or at least some LD pieces. Oh, there's a seal rune with speed sub, which of course, it never rolls into speed. I don't even know why. Maybe that'll roll into speed. No, it didn't. It doesn't. Okay, so we got a couple more scrolls there, but Tartarus is dead. Okay, so I actually forgot to show the runes, so I'm re-recording. Here's the team. Tian Chin is the first one. He's on speed, crit damage, HP, and he doesn't need to be on this. He is on this build for Siege. I use him in Siege. So if he was only being used for Tartarus, I would have him on attack, crit damage, maybe HP just to make him tanky enough. But you could also make this attack percent if you have big enough HP substats. So he needs more crit rate. A little more crit damage would be nice. Accuracy, it helps, but it's not super important for him. His debuffs aren't that important for Tartarus. So Fatal Blade would be fine. You don't need Will on him either. He's on Will because of Siege. So he's not really ruined for Tartarus. I'm just using him as is. Because I don't feel like building a second one for Siege. So, and then Theon here, speed's not important. And I have him slowest so that he can react to anybody getting killed. So he's just on HP defense. So really tanky, really good defense. almost 30k HP. Resistance probably should be better. I probably should make his resistance better. And accuracy doesn't matter for him in Tartarus. So, and then his artifact, I've got skill 3 recovery to help improve the recovery when he heals. So, and everything else doesn't matter that much. So, but he's on double fight shield, shield just to help out with initial hits, and then he probably could be triple fight and really be just fine. So that's Tion. Fran is on speed revenge, but Tartarus doesn't take revenge, so she doesn't need to be on that. Again, I use this Fran in siege from time to time, so she's built for siege. She's on attack, HP, and then she's got speed and subs. And you can see that her runes are not the best. Lots of grind still needed, especially on speed. On attack, it just makes her heal really strong since she has such high attack. And I also use her in Necro so that she sometimes gets captured by the boss at the beginning of the boss stage. So that's what Fran's for. Again, not built specifically for Tartarus. She's there to heal, and you want her to have good accuracy. She's at 50% accuracy. Actually, I should probably get her some more accuracy on her. So I re-runed her for Necro, where her debuff isn't all that important, but if we could get another 20-30% accuracy on there, then that would be helpful for landing her debuff, because her attack power break does help reduce the amount of damage from the boss. And then Crow is the only one that's kind of ruined properly. So Crow's on attack, crit damage, attack, and has a lot of speed, a lot of attack, crit rate, crit damage, and subs. Try to get some HP in there, and a little extra stats in the innate stats when I could. And then he's got additional damage with more and less HP, some accuracy to land his defense break, and then as the enemy's HP decreases, then we get a 27% crit rate bonus, or crit damage bonus. So he does pretty good damage. He's ruined decently. So Rage Blade. So that's Crow. And then Darian here is just to be tanky. So he's on speed, HP, and just whatever runes I could get him on. So shield, fight, guard. And he's mainly there just to be tanky and have good accuracy so that he can land his defense break and land his attack power break. That's really, and he needs to be tanky to absorb hits, so he stays around so that his damage reduction for his teammates is always there. Having some more resistance would be good to reduce the amount of debuffs he gets from the boss, but other than that, so you can see these runes are not great. So this is something that you can build pretty early on in your account, especially if you're doing LD only. These are all free-to-play monsters. I mean, you have to summon the light. You have to summon the light Drunken Master, but other than that, everything else is easily available or given to you at the beginning of the game. So that's the runes. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to drop a comment on YouTube, and I'll get back to you. So the team I'm about to show you is Phenaka, Xiao Ling, and Shu Shu. And I made a mistake when I was running up Phenaka. We don't want him on violent because when he turns into the statue state, when people attack him, their cooldown time will go up by 2 turns. So you don't want him proccing out of his statue state. So, and how you want to build him is just super tanky. He doesn't even need a ton of speed. I only had him at plus 59 when he was on violent. Destroy is good because he can slowly destroy units' HP over time when you're going against bruisery teams. And I'm going to go for runes that I don't normally use. So that's one of the beautiful things about this team is you don't need will and you don't need violent, because this is going to be a long battle. And you can build him. Now, he was built on speed, defense, with some really nice HP subs there. He can also be built as speed, crit damage, defense, if you have enough HP and crit rate in subs. So Phenaka is one of those rare opportunities where you can actually use some of these ally runes, and you can even use seal runes in this point. So let's see if we have any decent seal runes at all. That's actually pretty good. So you definitely want very high resistance on Phenaka, because you don't want him to get defense broken, which can severely limit his tankiness. So what I'm looking for, so what I'm really looking for is really high HP and really high defense. High defense increases his damage, and then high HP helps him avoid being lucianed. So this is actually a pretty good rune. It's not great, but it's 33% HP. Defense, speed, lots of HP, more defense, some accuracy. It's not a bad rune. Defense, really high speed. The more... You don't want him to be super fast, because you don't want him to go out of his statue state really quick. So I'd actually choose the one that's a little bit lower speed there. His accuracy is only at 50% right now, but also his resistance is only around 60, and you want his resistance to be around 85. So one of the teams that I commonly use this against is Clara, Savannah, Theo, and if you make his defense really high, then his defense will be higher than Savannah's attack, and she can't defense break him. So that can be a really nice thing to have. The resistance is very important on this team, because it's a team that doesn't have a ton of damage, and so you're going to be taking some hits for a while, and he's going to be provoking everyone, so he'll be taking a ton of hits. So resistance is super important on him. This is harder than I thought, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording and rune him up, and then we'll come back once I've figured out a good rune set for him. Okay, we're back. We've finished runing up Phenaka. You can see he's 2200 defense and almost 30k HP. We're a little short there, and that's with his runes not fully plus 15 yet. We're saving some mana for summoning. Been building a lot of units for siege on this account, so my mana has dried up. So we ended up going on Seal, Destroy, Broken, because we got this rune here with 17% resistance, 13% accuracy to improve his provokes, little HP, and attack also helps his damage. It's not a lot, but it helps. And then just a really tanky rune here, some accuracy, resistance, HP, defense here. And even with all this, he's still plus 68 speed. Could be a little bit faster, but and this is just his first set of runes. And then I did change his artifacts up. So this is an HP artifact now to just help him be more tanky. A little bit of additional damage, but most importantly, skill 2 accuracy is up 15. And then we don't need skill 3 crit damage, skill 4 crit damage, and that's not a good stat anyway, so we can get rid of that. And we're going to actually do a special conversion because we have a legendary crit damage taken for a defense monster. So if we can get 6% on that, that'd be outstanding. And we got 6%, that's really cool. So that makes him even more tanky as the hits come in. 6% of that crit damage is coming off. So, and then his other artifact is minus from wind and minus from dark. And so since I use him quite a bit against Savannah teams. Having the minus from wind is good, and then most likely if he's on defense, people are going to bring a dark nuker to try to take him out. So minus from dark is really good. So that's how he's runed up, and he's not even near where I want him to be yet, but it's a good starting rune. Resistance is 95%. You don't really need anything over 85, but we had a little extra. Accuracy, you want at least 40% plus accuracy in subs to make him land as provokes. And you can build him as a crit damage build, but that takes a lot of really good runes. So decided not to go that route. So here's Xiao Ling from the team. She's on Violent Destroy, and she's the damage dealer. So she's on speed, crit damage, HP, and she's at 63% crit rate. Need to get that up. Crit damage is 136, which is kind of low. But she needs some accuracy to land her stuns, and she needs some resistance because a lot of people will be trying to attack her because she is the damage dealer. So defense is 1,000, HP is 33, and then you use Phenaka's HP lead, and she gets an extra 40%, so almost another 4,000, 5,000 from her base HP, so that makes her even more tanky. So speed with a really nice HP substat there, another nice HP substat. And the HP is just to make her tanky. It also improves her damage as well. So we are looking for speed, crit damage, HP. Attack doesn't hurt, and crit rate's good. And obviously I need a lot more grinds, especially for violent runes. So we still have a ways to go on this one. And then Shu Shu is on Violent Endure, just to get resistance up around 85%. So that hopefully Shu Shu is not defense broken, because he's only at 28k HP, 1700 defense. And you do want Shu Shu as fast as possible. And so this is actually a little bit of a slow Shu Shu. You would ideally want to get Shu Shu over plus 150 so that the Shu Shu can constantly get turns, heal, and cleanse the defense breaks off the other two units. So I used Endure to get the resistance up because I did not have a Nemesis set that also had resistance. Shu Shu's resistance would have been down around 40% on Nemesis, and that's not good. So an ideal build would probably be Violent Nemesis for Shu Shu to give Shu Shu even more turns. So this is a tanky team with a lot of sustain. And also, so this defense is not ideal going into a lot of immunity. So this is not actually the best test. And so this is a bruisery team that I usually think I'm going to be taking turn 2. So we're going to just start working on getting our counterattack up. So there goes a shear, and they have immunity right now, so we can't provoke. So it's best to take this team into something that does not have immunity. So there we got the revenge stun, and we want to cleanse that defense break off. And now we can provoke everybody. So, well, we landed one provoke, but we definitely want to get rid of Grego first. He's the main damage dealer, and he's the only one that can provide defense breaks for the team. Because if your team is really tanky and they can't bring in a defense break, then you're in good shape. So now we're just going to be, this is not a fast team. So if you're expecting if you need a fast offense, this is not the one you want. But if you want something that, as long as you're going against the right teams, that's really consistent, then you can use this team. And let's go ahead and, so Shu Shu does not do a cleanse, but it's nice to get that immunity back up. And you don't want to kill the other 2 units first, because Grego's attacks get stronger as other units on the field die. And so you can see that we're already impacting with having... Let's see if we can provoke a shear. Yeah, we did. So then we can see he just increased his cooldown time. And so now we can just continue to pound on... And let's get our immunity back up so we can stop getting all these attack breaks from Fran. But attack is not the main stat used on both the damage dealers. The Gargoyle is technically a damage dealer, but I use the Gargoyle as just a tank. This defense and offense just works much better if you build the Gargoyle as a tank rather than trying to make him a damage dealer and then he's not as tanky. And so another thing you want to think about with this team is you want to make sure that you don't go against teams that typically have destroy runes on them, because then they will start destroying the HP of your units, and then you're not going to be tanky since you can't do a ton of damage. You're not going to be tanky long enough to win the battle. So right now, none of these units have destroy in them, I don't think. And so now we can just sit here and take damage, keep dishing out damage, and there's really nothing they can do about it. And then as soon as we get Grego dead, then we can start working on a shear. And since he's an HP-based monster, very soon we're going to be able to decrease the effectiveness of his skills as well. So we're just continuing to pound away. And you can see that they're not able to do any damage to me. So if you can find defenses that don't have defense breaks, I mean, it'll take you a while to win, but you're going to get that win because they don't have anything they can do. Xiao Ling has a really nice passive that reduces damage by 50% on the hits that she takes, so she hardly ever takes damage unless she's defense broken. So there, we prevented any Vile procs there out of a shear, and honestly, we can just auto this now. And so that's the team. I love it, and it was surprisingly my best defense on the Japan server for months. It would typically have 2 to 3 times the wins as losses in Siege, as a Siege defense. And I think it's because people go in thinking they can just Lucian it. And, you never know what teams are attacking your team. But if they come in with monsters that do a lot of damage from wind or dark, Gargoyle's not going to go down. And then you can, over time, wear them down and win. So it's I love this team. This is one of my favorite teams, both for offense and defense. After the current Siege battle is done, we'll put it in as one of our defenses, and we'll see what the defense rating on it is over time. It's not an amazing defense, but considering how it's built, it can surprise some people. Okay, so we have enough mana now. Here we are doing summons. So we got 2 Jujutsu Kaisen scrolls, which are LD chances, 1 legendary all attribute scroll, 3 legendaries, 4 more light darks, so 7 total chances at LDs, a couple of elemental, 80 mysticals, and we are going to do stones because we have a stone rotation that has 2 dupe nat 5s in it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And this has Brownie Magician skill ups. I'd love to get a couple of those. So we will be doing those as well. And just one other word. This week, if you're watching this video when it first comes out, you really want to complete the hell level of the Jujutsu Kaisen dungeon, because you get a blessing from the final level in hell. It's great. So I do have a blessing now, so that increases our chances of getting a Dupe Nat 5 from Mysticals. So that's what we're hoping for. So let's get right to the summons. 80 Mystics. And I think the Mystical Scroll event is still going on, so we can probably grab a couple more Mystics from that. Oh, we forgot to do our... We gotta do it. We sometimes forget, and it's usually really bad when we forget. So we did not jiggle our Mystic Witches, which means we don't have the luck. So here we go. Linda and Gina. Okay. 70 Mystics left. Now that we increased our luck, we should get a lightning right here. There we go. Oh, it's an event monster. Well, hello. Oh, they're both new though. Can't use either one of them. They're both new. So that's a wasted blessing. I'll take the event monster just to have it. That's unfortunate. Back-to-back Nat 5s? No. Not that lucky, are we? But, hey, we got a Nat 5. We can't complain about that. That's one more Nat 5 that won't be a dupe in the future. Cyborg. More lightning. Good. It's good that we're getting lightning. I don't know if I'm planning on building another Dark Period anytime soon for Siege. I do need Carl's skill ups, so that's nice to get that. Ninja skill ups are not... We don't have the Light or Dark Ninja. I did not take the Light Ninja from the Hall of Heroes. I'm somewhat regretting that, but we wanted whoever else was available. There's a skill up for high-ends, which is great. And 20 more Mystics. Here's more lightning. We're getting pretty decent lightning. Robo. Would love to get the light or dark Robo. Either one would be fine. Please come to us. I'm very happy to highlight that. And that's it for Mystics. So last 10. Let's see if we can get one more lightning, maybe another Nat 5. Or how about no lightning? Okay, fine. Let's do the Legendary Engrave Summon, see if we can get a dupe. Dupe Nat 5. Or a Brownie Magician. I don't know if Frigate is fully skilled up yet or not. So here's a ninja. Never hurts to get more werewolves. We are constantly 2Aing them for skill ups. Ooh, a lightning. Hey, we got our Brownie Magician. That's awesome. So we got another Brownie Magician skill up. That'll work. And so now we've got 3 legendaries for one more chance at Nat 5s before we go into the other things here. So can we get another Nat 5? That is a fusion monster. It is not a Nat 5. That is also a fusion monster, not a Nat 5. Come on. Legendaries don't feel very legendary to me. And there's another Period skill up. Don't know if I'm going to be doing... Okay, so we're going to do light darks first, and then we'll do the Jujutsu Kaisen last. So, come on, one lightning. Oh, so I did do the statistics on lightning pulls, or LD pulls for this account. And so as of last video, so not counting this video, we did 343 pulls. And we got lightning 28 times, which is 8.16% of the time we got lightning. Now, our luck has been amazing for nat 5s. In 343 pulls, we got 3 nat 5s, LD 5s, which is way better than average. It should be closer to 1,200 scrolls for 3 nat 5s, LD 5s. But we have been in a bit of a dry spell recently. In the last few videos, we've had 74 LD pulls, and we've only got 5 sparks, and most of those were dupes. So we're at a 6.76% lightning rate, which is a little low compared to the average rate that Com2us says. Yeah, so the average lightning rate for an LD scroll is 6%. 6.35% if you include the nat 5s. So even with a dry spell, we are slightly above that, but it just hasn't felt like that. So Com2us, please be nice to us. One lightning, one new toy. It is not a lightning. So we now have all the LD3s. So there's no point in getting any of those. We could use another walkers for Siege. We only have 2, and it would be nice to have a 3rd one. But we're not getting it. So, okay. Bum. Once again. Okay, so now we got 3 more LD chances. Come on. We want one of the event monsters. Nah. Win. Fire Robo. Okay. We want a light dark. Doesn't matter what it is. Just give us a light dark anything from these 2 scrolls. That's what we would love to get. It's a win one. Okay. Come on. Light dark. Fire. God dang it. We got the 2 units that everybody's getting. And those are not light darks, so that's useless. So once again, a bit bummed out from light dark summons on this account. No sparks out of 7 chances, so the rate goes down a little bit more. So the idea is that Theo attacks the gargoyle while he's in statue state, which increases the cooldown on his endure skill, and then you can just kill Theo outright. So the danger here is Clara stunning too much, and she didn't stun anything. And we start doing a little bit of damage to Theo because he's the main threat. And so this team doesn't have any immunity, so we should be able to provoke eventually. And right now we have the seal runes are being helpful because Theo's not going to proc. And he just did his increased cooldown, so now we can take him out. I think we'll just take him out. There we go. So that's how this team gets rid of Theo. And then, so they do have a strip, which is dangerous, but Clara's not going to be a major threat. So we just try to get rid of Savannah first. And without Clara putting on her defense break, Savannah's not going to be able to kill anything. So far, Clara hasn't landed that. And try to do provoke. We missed the provoke. But that's okay. Clara's not really a threat. Clara's only a threat because she can defense break for the damage dealer. So anyway, that's how that team works against Theo and Savannah and Clara. And, you know, sometimes you'll get it where Clara just stuns everybody and then Theo starts proccing like crazy and then you lose. But overall, it's not... it's a pretty good team against that defense. So, and it's good against a lot of defenses, especially the ones that don't have immunity. But just wanted to share those few things. We're going to continue working on the account and keep getting better. So until next time, see ya.